Enchanté.
Welcome back, everyone, to another Two Tight Ends podcast. I'm your co-host, Connor, and with me is a man who hasn't nutted so hard to Cowboys getting dick down since it starred Jake Gyllenhaal. It's Neal.
Let's go 49ers. Let's go Jake Gyllenhaal. Oh, no, it was great. I mean, I was elated. I don't know. What's another? Ejaculated. Elated. Elated.
Yeah. I was torqued. Mommy.
No, it was great. Yes, we're talking NFL football this week, guys. This is Monday. We're recording this right as the Rams and Cardinals are about to play, so we're not going to talk a lot about that game. But this past weekend was awesome. Lots of games, and Connor brought it up. Let's talk Cowboys first, man. Let's talk. Should I say cowgirls? Got him.
Ooh,
got
him.
Oh,
wait, what's wrong with being a girl?
No, nothing. It's just like
yeah,
got him. But yes, the Cowboys lost on an very interesting fourth quarter there. Lost 23-17 to the 49ers. I was the biggest 49ers fan this weekend. How did you feel about the game, man? Did you catch any of it?
Yeah, I caught some of it. I didn't watch a ton, but what I did see is I was surprised to see the final score because I didn't see the ending. I did see like the clips from the end, right? So I know what happened with like the controversial calls, things like that,
which we'll get into.
Yes, we will get into that. But I just saw the 49ers just dominating Dallas and couldn't have been happier. So yeah, very excited about that. Love seeing all the memes of the crying fans. Also a great time. I did just notice though this wasn't really like a great game for either team. When you look, I was talking about, the 49ers did look very dominant in the first half, but really, man, Robbie Gould, give that man a raise or something, because really this was a kicker's game. Now that I'm looking at it, I didn't notice this the first time we recorded this episode, but I just noticed. Sorry, that's a little inside baseball for you. Neal forgot to hit record the first time. We talked for like 20 minutes, and now we're back at it. Anyway, but when we were looking at this the first time, though, I didn't even notice Robbie Gould had 11 points. Jimmy G didn't have a single touchdown. He had an interception, less than 200 yards. Jimmy G really didn't have a great game. And then you had Eli Mitchell and Deebo Samuel with the only 2 touchdowns. So, Robbie Gould had about half their points.
Interesting stat there. Robbie Gould is 100% in his playoff career field goals. 100%.
Yeah.
I believe he's like 21 for 21 now after that game. He hit a couple 50-yarders that were nice. And it's interesting you bring up Jimmy Garoppolo because I wouldn't call myself a fan, but I'm sort of a supporter in I guess Jimmy and what the 49ers are doing with him kind of thing. Because I think he's kind of a good quarterback for what they are trying to do. He's fine with just handing the ball off a ton, and he's a pretty decent quarterback for getting it done. Now, I will say, there's this one play that you just reminded me of. I don't exactly remember the exact details. I believe it was a third down, and the Cowboys had just scored, and then I believe the time was winding down, right? You're sort of around midfield, and you're trying to extend the drive. Third down, and he overthrows, I believe it was number 11, Ayuk. He overthrows Ayuk on this post route, which I was like, man, that's kind of reminiscent. Not as bad, but it's kind of reminiscent about when he overthrew that guy who, I forget who it was, in the Super Bowl. And it's like, that was a big moment, and he just did it. He just get that, and it extends the drive. And maybe the Cowboys don't even have a chance, at the end there.
He's just getting like Vietnam flashbacks from that moment.
It wasn't exactly the same, but it's like, I don't know, man. Jimmy, I like I said, I'm a supporter of what they're doing over there, and I feel like he's a good mostly good fit, but then it's like that one play, or there's sometimes a couple plays where it's like if he either makes them or doesn't, and if he doesn't look great.
Right.
But
Well, that is kind of interesting. That is sort of, I don't know. I mean, it was an interesting choice for the 49ers drafting Trey Lance, right? One of the top-rated QBs coming out of the draft class last year.
Yeah.
And it almost shows, like, do they really have confidence in Jimmy G? I mean, we'll see, but, like, I think I need more sample size for Jimmy in this postseason. But this first game, now that I'm looking, I mean, he doesn't look great on paper.
But like I said, I mean, what are they trying to do? They're trying to handle the ball, trying to do the trick plays, trying to do these jet sweeps, trying to get the ball out into these receivers' hands who are just like one cut and they're gone for 20 yards. I mean, he gets that job done most of the time, right? So
yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah, but let's talk about.
I mean,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, and maybe this is where you go next, but I mean, like, let's talk about the real star of the team, Deebo Samuel, right?
Let's talk about Deebo, man. He is just so fun to watch. I mean, we got to bring up how he's got to be like one of the best tools, one of the best weapons in football, right? Because me and you were talking, I don't feel like I can, I don't think he's up there as just the plain best wide receiver. But I mean, best weapon overall, he's dangerous, man. Especially,
yeah. We mentioned this earlier, but like, I would say in my mind, he is like a better Cordell Patterson, because Cordell is one of the best examples of an effective gadget player, or effective like a role switcher, if you will. Like, he can play running back, he can play wide receiver, he can do special teams, he can be on the return. And he's just an athlete. Like, he's just fast, and he can catch a ball, and he can hold on to a ball. You know what I mean? Like, he can do it all. But I would say Deebo Samuel is doing it at a higher level.
Yeah. So you would say, like, would you say Cordell Patterson is the great value Deebo?
Yeah, sort of. But well, okay. So Cordell came first, though. So it's more like Cordell's like the MySpace, and Deebo is the Facebook in this situation.
Okay, I got you. No,
Cordell's friends with everyone.
He's got friends everywhere. With Tom especially.
Yeah, he friends everyone.
Yeah, exactly. But Deebo.
And he tells everyone his favorite song right up front.
I was just watching the game, and I'm like, it's just you can't deny Deebo's greatness. And then 2 weeks ago he was throwing touchdown passes. It's like, man, what can't this guy do? It's pretty impressive. But
yeah. Hey, real quick, because I'm watching the Rams, both teams about to take the field, but it's on the Rams sideline right now. Mm-hmm. Who you got in this game? Really quick.
I'm riding Cardinals, man. I'm a believer. I'm believing in them.
Home team.
I'm
hero.
A homer right now. I'm believing in them. I think as long as Kyler Murray shows up, and he usually does at prime time, and JJ Watt's back, I think I'm excited for them. But I think it's gonna be a great game.
I think it's gonna be a great game, but just to make it controversial, I'm going Rams, baby.
Fair enough. I mean, this is their third meeting.
Fair enough.
Third meeting, second in LA, and yeah, I can see. Honestly, it's really, really close to a toss-up for me, for both teams.
Yeah.
I think.
No, I agree. I mean, this really is going to come down to like a coin flip in a way. But yeah, I think hometown or home field advantage. I'm gonna give it to the Rams on this one. I think.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, but Michael Buffer on the on the Stars.
Ooh, Michael Buffer. Thought he only showed up to Las Vegas games. Here we go.
But yeah, let's get back to this weekend, okay?
All right, my bad. Distracting.
Jeez, they haven't even started yet. Who else do you want to talk about? Let's see. Oh no! Wait! Before we move on, we gotta talk Cowboys ending to finish there.
Oh yes. Let's get into that.
So yeah, the Cowboys, the 49ers were. Cowboys were down 6. They received the ball back after a field goal. Or did they punt it? I think they punted it, actually. And the Cowboys they had like 40 seconds left around there. They kind of marched down the field. They got some good chunks, some good plays. They got around like midfield, 40-yard line. 14 seconds left. Dak decides to do a QB draw and run down the field. He picks up a good chunk of yards, but then the clock is running, no timeouts, They're trying to line up. They're trying to line up to spike the ball. But in case you didn't know this, the ref does have to touch the ball and like actually line it up for you before you can hike the ball. And so the ref was running behind him, kind of got blocked by Dak a little bit, and then did that. But all things considered, it took too long, and they did not get the spike down in time, and they lost the game off that, which is a really sucky way to lose the game. But a lot of people talking about the refs and everything. I really don't think you can blame the ref in this situation. What do you think?
No, I mean we saw an example of this earlier in the season with Chase Claypool, right? Like you are in 2-minute drill time. Like it is crunch time right now. Game is on the line, and you are not doing what you're trained to do, right? And like Chase Claypool, completely different situation, right? Like he wasn't even trying to get to the line. He wasn't even trying to get the ball to the ref. But you should know the rules well enough to know this needs to get to the ref ASAP so they can spot it, we can spike it, and we can move on. Yeah. But they were just trying to line up and go, thinking they could line the ball up where they were like.
I really think if the ref wasn't there, if he was slower, I think they would have just tried to hike the ball but themselves.
Probably
and probably gotten like even more penalties or something. Like they would have messed it up that how. But yeah, like I agree. I feel like Dak. I mean, hindsight's 20/20. I feel like Dak probably shouldn't have ran as far as he did, and then because you really don't have that much time, and then also you gotta like go once you are down, get up and go find the ref. Like go give it to him. But no, that's just a sucky way to live. And then we gotta talk, dude. The freaking Cowboys fans throwing trash into the field.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
that was ridiculous.
Well, and it was like originally they were trying to throw trash to hit the refs, and then they were like accidentally hitting their own players at some point.
Just classic Dallas. Classic.
Yeah, but classic Dallas, exactly, classic Dallas. But then like you mentioned too that they were just throwing trash. At one point they were just like, you know what, we're just gonna completely trash the field. And the worst part of that is their star quarterback was encouraging it. He was like congratulating them and saying they should have thrown trash at the refs. And it's like, dude, you can't do that. No. As the starting quarterback, you cannot do that. And I'm sure there's going to be some kind of punishment handed down.
Yeah, there's got to be, but
if there's not at least a fine, then what are we doing here, Roger? Come on, bud.
Yeah, no, they after the game they were throwing trash onto the field. It's just, come on, guys. You at least you were in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, for once.
Goodness. No, did you see that stat going around about like how many wins the Cowboys have in the last 25 years in the playoffs? People are comparing it to a lot of different things. One being like these like quarterbacks that have played. I would say mediocre to a little bit better than mediocre quarterbacks like Jake Delhomme or Trent Dilfer.
Jake Delhomme?
Delhomme, yes, Delhomme. Trent Dilfer. Who else was on there? Colin Kaepernick. They all have more wins than the Cowboys do in the last 25 years, and some of them haven't played since like the early 2010s or even earlier.
Yeah. Oh well, that's like what did Varsity put? It was something like
the Jaguars. The Jaguars, who have only been a franchise the last like 25 years or 30 years or whatever, they have more playoff wins, right, than the Cowboys do.
Well, yeah, I mean the as the resident Panthers fan, I mean the Panthers have I think the Panthers have only been a team for like 25, 30 years or something like that. Like about the same as the Jaguars.
A little bit before. Was
it a little bit before? I was going to say maybe that was an expansion year. Maybe they came in around the same time. But anyway, point is the Panthers have been around about the same amount of time as the Jags and have 2 Super Bowl appearances since then.
Yeah, exactly.
But the Cowboys are America's team.
Yeah, Panthers were established 93.
Okay, yeah, so 2 years before the Jags. But yeah, again, still.
Come on,
still.
Guys. And that's America's team. You're right. Man.
What's crazy to me too is they're valued so high. Like I remember
the number one sports franchise, aren't they?
One of them. I think I saw
they're definitely number one.
Yeah, it was something about like it was most valuable sports teams, and Cowboys are like top 5 in the world. Like this isn't just football. It was like I think it was like what was it, Barcelona and shoot, what is it? Oh, Madrid. It was like the two big soccer teams, right? Like Barcelona, Madrid. It was those two. It was I want to say it was another soccer team like Man United or Chelsea or something. I don't think it was Chelsea. I'm just saying that, but I think it was like Man United or something. And then it was like the Yankees and the Cowboys were on there.
Yeah, like they're definitely. Like, I'm pretty sure they're number one in the NFL, and I thought they were. Yeah, like you said, they're high up there in other rankings. So
in the world, in every sport,
in the world.
It's crazy.
It is pretty crazy, and they always choke. And bro, I called this week 8, man. I called it. Okay.
You did. It's true. I tweeted out from our two tight ends account that that you pretty much that you called this or whatever, and you were like, look, they're pretenders. I have been saying this. Nobody listened to me.
And it's like I saw a stat. I'm gonna butcher it right now, but I saw some stat that like the last like 6 games they played, they didn't play like a winning quarterback or something like that the whole time. Like their record was definitely inflated by playing in the NFC East. Let's put it that way.
Yes. Yep. And I even mentioned the same thing to people too. Is like, bro, they play in the easiest division. No offense. Well, some offense, but they play in the easiest division in the league, and everyone's talking about how it's the Cowboys' year. This is their year, and then they finally play like a real team, and it goes like this.
They get exposed. Yes. Let's. As much as I would love to keep showering on the Cowboys' hate, let's talk another game that happened. Let's talk Patriots Bills right now, because that was a fun game for everybody except for New England.
Which was a fun game for everyone then.
Exactly. The Bills whooped them, man. Whooped them. 47-17 in Buffalo in 5-degree weather.
Felt like negative.
Yeah, with the wind chill, it was definitely negative. 47-17. I guess the Bills, the stat came out that they pitched the perfect offensive game, essentially. They 7 drives, all touchdowns, no interceptions, no punts, nothing like that. Offensively they pitched the perfect game there, and it was fun to watch, man. It was awesome. I just like, Connor, how did you feel about it?
I loved it. First off, Bills Mafia, they're tailgating since 9 a.m. and game was at 8 or whatever. They were I don't know, it was 9 a.m., but they were tailgating really early, already plastered, jumping through tables. It was fantastic. Always love to see it. And then, I'd love to see the Patriots get exposed too. We talked about it. Mac Jones. Okay. Actually, we did say for a rookie quarterback, this was a good game. This was a good first NFL playoff game.
What to be expected.
Yes. But, also we had mentioned before that the reason that the Patriots were even 10-8 this season was because of their defense. There was no way around it. Their offense was not that great. It was they were a decent offense, but they were not that great. Their defense was definitely who was winning them games this season.
How'd they beat the Bills earlier this season? Mac Jones only passed 3 times.
Yeah, exactly. So, but the Bills, they exposed them. Like we said about the Cowboys. The Cowboys got exposed. Patriots got exposed here, and but that's also not to minimize the incredible game that Josh Allen put on, because he threw for 21 for 25. Jeez, what a pass completion percentage.
He had more touchdowns than incompletions.
Yeah, he did. He did. And he had 308 yards, 5 TDs. They were they were putting on a clinic, to plain and simple. They were putting on a clinic.
It seemed like no resistance from the Bills or Patriots at all. Just none.
Yeah.
The Bills could just do whatever they wanted to.
Yeah, no, it was pretty wild to see the way they manhandled them. But again, Mac Jones, decent game, good job for a rookie, but just wasn't enough. He only put up. Let's see, he put up 7 in the third and 7 in the fourth. That is just rough. That is rough when you've got 14 in the first for the Bills, 13 in the second. Yeah. Only 6 in the third. That's the only time they outscored him was in the third quarter, and then 14 in the fourth. Just had their way with them.
What I say with what the Patriots also success. On the offensive side is that Mac Jones didn't have to do too much because their run game was actually pretty good this year, And look at these,
Yeah,
look
true.
at the stats from the runners. The leading runner was rusher was 30 yards. With Harris, Stevenson only had 27. So, I mean, the Bills shut down the run game. The Patriots defense couldn't even stop the Bills. So it was a disaster for the Patriots.
Yeah, yeah. Which I mean, hey, good on the Bills. Figured out how to beat them and got it done. So,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, really, and I will say I am just like slowly morphing into a Bills stan. I mean, I'm Panthers ride or die, but like, man, the Bills are just such a likable team, and I mean, the fan base is the thing I love about the Bills fan base is they are insane, but they're not obnoxious.
Yeah.
There's a difference because there's the fan bases like the Cowboys or name another one that we talk about constantly. Yeah, the Eagles, exactly. They're a fan base that are kind of insane and psychotic, but they're also obnoxious. And then you have the Bills Mafia that are just so wholesome but also insane.
If they don't like you, they're gonna donate to your charity.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're just so wholesome and fun,
Yeah.
but then they're also insane because they're literally jumping off of RVs and like people's elbowing plastic tables, and it's just nuts. But
what does it say
so
to you that a former QB from the Bills, not even on their team anymore, came and watched them from the stands? It was part of Bills Mafia.
Oh my gosh, dude, Fitz magic. It was so. Again, just I keep using the word, but wholesome. It was so fun to watch him in the stands, like cheering his former team on, shirtless in negative 5-degree weather. Like,
yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, it was so great to watch. He is awesome. He's so great.
It's so funny to remind myself that he's a Harvard grad.
Yeah, honestly though.
Yeah,
he is probably the most fratty Harvard grad to ever exist. Like you look at him and you go, oh, he definitely went to like Arizona State or
no, like, I don't even look at him, but I think he went to like some like D2 school that parties
D2
like that's what I look at.
No, I mean I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. He went D1, but like he went to like a Wisconsin or like an Arizona State, like one of those huge party schools, and it's like no Harvard. And he graduated.
Yeah, he's
gosh,
awesome. But go Bills, man, go Bills.
Go Bills, go! I seriously, I think I don't know who I'm rooting because I did say I was kind of riding with the Rams a little bit this postseason, but I think I may just ride with the Bills again, man. I just
especially after that performance, why not?
Really, after that performance, yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, that was against a pretty bad Patriots showing, but
a look ahead, they have to play the Chiefs next week, so
yeah, exactly. That's actually what I just wanted to look at too, is like going into this playoff picture because we're talking about. So they've got to go play the Chiefs. We haven't talked about that game yet, and then the Cowboys have to go play the Bucks. We haven't talked about the Bucks and Eagles yet.
No.
And then tonight,
the Cowboys are out.
What's that?
You said the Cowboys have to go play the.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant 49ers. My bad.
49ers I was
it's because I was staring at the Cowboys like symbol. My bad. But yeah, 49ers have to go play the Bucks, which we haven't talked about the Bucks and Eagles yet. Rams and Cardinals is getting decided right now to go play the Packers, and then the Bengals will go on and take the Titans. So
isn't it the 49ers are going to play the Packers no matter what because they're the lowest seed?
Not according to this, but maybe.
I thought the 49ers, because the Rams and Cardinals are. Wait a second. It doesn't matter. They might play them, right? But there's still one game to be decided, essentially.
Yeah, you may be right. I don't know. I'm just all I'm going off of is this graphic from Yahoo Sports because I liked having the visual of like bracket style, and that's just what it's showing here.
Okay. Well, let's talk last weekend though before we get ahead of ourselves. Let's keep talking, and let's talk Bengals and Raiders. Man, my Raiders, overperforming this year somehow after all this controversy of their head coach getting fired and their star wide receiver getting arrested and unfortunately doing horrible things. Yeah, somehow they squeaked into the playoffs. They played the Bengals and they lost. But
I did. Sorry, speaking of the Raiders' former star wide receiver, I did see a pretty interesting stat about that. This would be more. I guess we'll have to talk about the Eagles game right after this because apparently Henry Ruggs had more. Was it receiving yards or touchdown? I think it was receiving yards. More receiving yards than Jalen Reagor. the like first round pick or whatever for the Eagles, and Ruggs was arrested in week 8.
Yep.
So I just wanted to point that out real quick.
You should. I don't think I can repeat what he said about it, but Brett, well, he's been on the show before, Brett, and Varsity's little brother. He had some choice words this week. He's a big Eagles fan, and he has some choice words for Rager.
Oh gosh!
And I don't even think I can repeat it on the show. So
probably not. Probably not. I can only imagine.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense though. He really does not do much at all for them, except drop passes. But
yeah, exactly.
But we'll get into that in a second. Yes, let's talk Raiders and Bengals. It was a fun game, actually. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Bengals won 26-19, but I think it was kind of a tale of two halves here. It really, like the first half, they were up 20-10 at half, but the Bengals really kind of put it on them to start. And I was like, oh, if this continues, like this might be a blowout. Oh, don't really want to see a blowout. But the Raiders defense kind of came to play in the second half. They only allowed the Bengals 6 more points the rest of the game. It really just came down to the offense.
To be fair, the Raiders only allowed the Bengals 6 more points the rest of the game too.
Right, but they were
ahead of the half, so right. Yeah.
But the Raiders, they just couldn't really score, especially at the end there. They drove down the field, time winding down, and Carr, they were in the red zone, but Carr forced a throw, got an interception there. I really did not like that throw by Carr. I thought I don't know, man. There was other options, but obviously hindsight's 20/20 there. But
yeah, it's pretty unfortunate to see it end that way when it was so close to going into like overtime, because they probably would have just tied it up. I don't think they would have gone for 2, so they probably would have just tied it up. Would have gone to overtime. It would have been a really fun game to continue. But
I mean, think of the reaction when the Ravens did it this season. But this is a playoffs.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It was pretty unfortunate to see their season end that way after all the adversity they overcome to get to that point. But yeah, I mean, man, the Bengals were just good though. I mean, Joe Burrow, he threw for like almost 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jamar Chase didn't have a touchdown, but he caught 9 passes for 116 yards and rushed 3 times for 23 yards. So like Jamar Chase had a great game, and then we had some touchdowns mixed in there from other people. So I mean, it was a good showing for the Bengals, and their defense, like we said, they showed up when they needed to. And the Raiders, I mean, Derek Carr did not have a lax game at all. I mean, he threw for over 300 yards. He threw a lot though.
Yeah, he had 54 attempts.
Yeah, he threw a lot. There was like no rushing. No. I mean, it's Josh Jacobs on 13 attempts for 83 yards, and then Derek Carr ran a 20-yard run apparently. But yeah, so Derek Carr, I mean, he threw a lot of passes for only 1 touchdown and an interception, so that kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I mean, he did throw a touchdown to his main man, Zay Jones. He shot out Zay Jones earlier in the year, so that's pretty cool.
But like I said, overall good game. It was exciting, and I think a lot of people gave him praise and giving a lot of hype to the Bengals, rightfully so. They had a solid outing, and I'm excited to see what they can do next round. But
they do have to go play the Titans though, and the Titans look scary.
Just got Derrick Henry back.
Is it confirmed?
I mean, he's practicing. It's not. I don't think it's official that he's playing, but it's like, bro, why even activate him if he's not playing?
Yeah, true. just for the tease.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's literally just so they can get people hyped, but maybe they don't actually activate it, or they don't actually like bring it back.
There's no way. If you think he's not even close, keep him IR. Don't even let him play. Like, there's no way. But
exactly. Speaking of since I mentioned Derek hooking up with Zay Jones for a touchdown, and being his main man or whatever, bro, I gotta mention though, if I had to hear those broadcasters talk about Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow's freaking connection and their chemistry and they just know each other so well, I was seriously going to commit some kind of physical act of violence. It was so obnoxious. Like, we get it that they played at LSU together, they won a national championship together, we get it, they're on the same team in the NFL now. Like, oh my gosh, find something else to talk about.
Yeah,
it was insane. Which, I mean, granted, yes, he went to him a lot. And so I understand that like you kind of have to mention it, but after the fourth or fifth time, holy cow, you guys are you guys do this for a living to talk about the game, talk about anything else about the game besides their connection.
You know, I agree mostly for you. Now I won't start rioting with you until they start doing this. Still, if they continue to do this next year, if that keeps
next
happening.
Game, dude. If they do this next game, I'm rioting.
No, it's annoying, but I think this 1 week they almost get an excuse just because Bengals didn't really have a lot of primetime games, and so that's like everybody's watching.
I guess that's fair.
But that's why I'm saying if like they continue to do this, then I'm like, okay, I'm on board rioting.
Yeah, that's fair. Yo, I forgot how like okay, even though I just talked about how annoying it was, I forgot how amazing that core LSU offense was though. Like a lot of people talk about Alabama back in the day when it was like what was it the Alabama QB room that was like Mac Jones and Jalen Hurts and I can't remember who the other one was now.
Tua?
But
was Tua on there?
Tua. It was Tua, yeah. It was like Jalen Hurts, Tua, Mac Jones, like the QB room was just insane. And then their wide receiver core was insane. But like LSU, I mean, that was Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Justin Jefferson. I mean, you've got two of the like up and coming wide receivers and up and coming QB, like some of the star players right now for their teams. Like,
bro, I mean,
that was an insane offense.
Yeah, and just every week you watch Joe Burrow and you're like, dude, this is the dude, man. He's got it.
Well, and this is the dude that it came back from an ACL injury last year. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, pretty quick, honestly. Pretty quick.
Like extremely quick. Like he is the guy, like you said. This is the dude.
This is the dude. All right, let's talk another game there. Let's talk Eagles, like you said you wanted to. Eagles and Bucks. It was a sad game. It was a sad game. For
it was
rough.
It was Bucks, not much fight from the old birds.
The Bucks won 31-15. Honestly,
I just realized the Eagles only scored the last quarter.
Yeah,
so
all
sad.
15 was all in the fourth quarter.
Yikes, dude.
It was rough. It was
a big old yikes for me there, dog.
I mean, there wasn't really.
Jalen Reagor, 1 reception for 2 yards. Yep. Goodness gracious.
Yep, right there, buddy. Right there. It really wasn't much of a contest the whole way through, honestly.
No, it wasn't.
It really wasn't.
I didn't watch much of that game. I'm just looking at the stats now. I mean, holy.
I didn't watch much.
Although I will say, kind of impressive. Well, I mean, it's definitely a tale of two different stories. But like Jalen Hurts, I mean, he almost threw for as many yards as Brady, but did it in like was it 6 more attempts and less completions on that, and only 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Brady threw for 271 yards, so almost about 15 or so, 13 more. Can I do math? 13 more yards and 2 TDs on that, and a better completion percentage. So definitely a more efficient QB, if you will.
But obviously, you would take the win over that. So.
Oh yeah.
No, it wasn't much of a contest. Honestly, I don't really have this much to say except for Reagor sucks. So.
It's true.
It's so true. Anything else to say about the Eagles? Any redeeming facts here? I will say.
Not even. I mean, Jalen Hurts. That's the redeeming fact. I mean, like I think he can get there, but he needs some help. He needs some milk.
He needs some milk. Yeah, that was a tough matchup. The first wild card. I think if they had, I don't know, if they had anybody else, might have been a closer game, maybe. But
yeah,
that was
also. I do have to redact my future games coming up. You were correct. I was looking at this Yahoo Sports graphic, which is incorrect, because it does say that the Bengals will be playing the Titans. We already knew that one, but the 49ers will be playing the Packers Saturday, and then this game that's happening right now is who will be facing the Bucks on Sunday. Right. So,
okay, so
you were correct. My bad. Well, really, Yahoo Sports bad. So Yahoo, shame on you.
Yes, exactly. All right. Well, that was easy. Talk about the Eagles Bucks. Let's move on to the final game that we have not talked about yet. Chiefs and the Steelers. This one was.
Oh boy.
There's a lot of blowouts this weekend.
Bro. Patrick Mahomes for 400 yards, 5 TDs. Travis Kelce throwing a TD.
That was beautiful.
That was beautiful. I did see that play. That was, oh my gosh.
And Jerick
But just
McKinnon,
when you actually look at it on this, when you actually look at it on like the stat card, oh my gosh, it's they just took him to the cleaners, if you will.
Jerick McKinnon, he had a solid game from the running back position, 61 yards, averaging 5.1 a carry. Oh my god, Patrick Mahomes only missed 9 times.
Yeah, for 400 yards. He did have one interception. He did have an interception in there.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I turned it on second quarter, okay, and they were tied with the Steelers, and the Chiefs and the Steelers were tied. They had I think the Steelers had just scored their defensive touchdown. They intercepted him and took it back, right? And so people were like, "Oh, what's going on here?" And then Kansas City just rang off 2 more scores to finish the half.
I just love the fact, looking at the the score breakdown per quarter or whatever, that the Steelers scored the same amount of points that the Chiefs did in the second quarter.
Yeah.
But like that was all their points.
Yeah, the Chiefs
also, Travis Kelce 5 receptions for 108 yards and a touchdown. What?
He's what was the stat they brought up? He is the third player to have 4 consecutive playoff games with over 100 yards. Other 2, Larry Fitzgerald, who did it in one postseason, I might add, and Antonio Brown, who did it in multiple seasons. But
wow,
yeah, the third person to do that, pretty impressive.
Goodness, I also just really love this stat line from Nick Allegretti: 1 reception, 1 yard, 1 touchdown. I mean, that's almost a Moss stat right there.
You gotta do it.
I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, that's the lineman. Did you see that play?
Oh yes, yeah. I know which one this is.
That's their backup lineman.
So I was like, who is Allegretti? What?
Dude, he threw TJ Watt to the ground, turned around, caught the pass, went in for the touchdown, and everyone was so hyped. It was awesome.
I also loved the fact that the Chiefs, or just Arrowhead Stadium, I should say, had to announce that they were out of touchdown fireworks. So that's why there have been some complaints. We have no more. You're out of touchdown fireworks. They had scored so much.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was not a lot from the Steelers there. And I gotta say, man, watching Big Ben this season, I'm glad he's retiring. I think it was the best option for the Steelers to put him out there. But man, he just, especially this game, like even Chris Collinsworth was saying, he was putting it in as mildly as he could, but he was like, every time they try to go deep, he was just like, and look, it's short again. The pass is short. Look, the pass is short. Like every single time. And it just, I don't know, because he had some open receivers down the field, some shots that they took, and he just couldn't get it to him sometimes. So, listen, Big Ben, you had a good run. I do hope, technically it's not official, but I do hope this is it for you, honestly.
Yeah, he needs to not tarnish his legacy by coming back another season. I mean, it's going to be the tale as old as time, is the once very, very high, the top of his game star player just plays for way too long and kind of tarnishes his legacy a little bit. But
I think we mentioned it earlier in the season. It's like his 2 strengths, his 2 his 2 things that was like, oh, that's Big Ben, was one is big arm. He had a big arm. And then 2 was his
athleticism.
Well, I guess athleticism is a good word, because I almost said elusiveness, and it's not elusiveness. It's strength, I guess, to just be able.
Yeah, he was just hard to tackle.
Yeah, to shake off people trying to get a sack and moving out of the pocket and extended plays that way. Like those are his best 2 features. And this year, it just doesn't seem like he can do that anymore.
Yeah, he's up there, man. It's honestly kind of rough to see what it kind of. This is such a sad comparison, really bad comparison, honestly. But it reminds me of one of my really good friends from North Carolina. Her dog was getting older, and I remember I was hanging out with her one day, and the dog was going up the stairs to the their deck or whatever.
Yeah.
And it just and the dog just collapsed and slid back down the stairs. Oh, and I was like, "Is she okay?" And my friend was like, "Yeah, she's just getting old, so she has a hard time with stairs. I'll get my dad to come get her and put her back in the house." But it was so sad to watch, and that's what it's like watching Big Ben.
Oh my gosh,
he's just gotten so old. It's just pitiful
sliding
to watch
down the
now.
Stairs.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah. But I mean, that kind of leaves the door open in Pittsburgh. Do they like Mason Rudolph enough? They definitely shouldn't.
Yeah, they
But
definitely should.
but do they like him enough to keep him?
That was an amazing way to put that. I mean, supposedly says it's a racial slur. So I don't know. I don't know if I'd keep him around either.
Do
But
they like?
not only that, not just for that.
Okay, so if they don't keep him around, do they like Dwayne Haskins enough?
Oh gosh, no. That is the worser of two evils there.
Yeah. So they're gonna have a tough time. I mean, the QB class is not deep this year.
It's
So...
not. It's probably the worst. It's probably the worst year to try to pick up a QB out of college right now.
Dude, I just had a moment, and I almost threw up in my mouth there. What if they attract one of these QBs that are like veterans that are trying to get out? I mean, what if they attract an Aaron Rodgers or a Russell Wilson to come? I don't like that.
Oh gosh,
I don't like that at all.
No, I don't. I just it's also so weird to imagine like Aaron Rodgers in that black and gold.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Oh gosh,
I mean, offensively they have a solid. They keep. I mean, Juju's probably leaving, but I think Claypool's staying. Deontay Johnson, I think he's staying.
Yeah. Wait, you said Juju? Is his contract over?
He only signed a 1 year.
Oh, that's right. And he just came off an injury too. I mean, he did play last night. He caught 5 balls for 26 yards.
He did. They have a decent offense, and they have really good pieces on the defense, like T.J. Watt, Fitzpatrick, all that stuff. That they're only a few pieces away from still being a good team, still competing. Namely a quarterback, but. No, that just made me throw up. I don't want to see either of those guys there. No. But yeah, that kind of does it for all the games this last weekend. Again, we're recording this right as the Rams are up 7-0 on the Cardinals.
Almost the end of the first quarter.
Yep. But let's look ahead a little bit, like we kind of already did. I mean, we were looking at the Bills Chiefs there. We both like the Bills, but is it enough? Do they have enough to beat the Chiefs?
It's so hard to bet against the Chiefs right now. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
Like, I'm rooting for the Bills, but I think the Chiefs are going to win.
You know, it's funny. Which, what I said was true. I was saying that the line for the Steelers and the Chiefs was at 12.5. And just in betting in general, that's just a big line. Like, that's hard to beat, right?
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it, and I took the Steelers at 12.5. At 12.5 to they only had to lose by 12 or less.
Yeah. And
my thought process was, man, like the Kansas City, they're good this year, but they just really haven't been blowing people out lately, right? And so and the Steelers, if they can keep that defense in, I think that's enough to keep them within 12, right?
Just 12. And
look what happened. They just blew them out.
Yep.
And that's what's weird. It's like, are we gonna get the blowout Chiefs against the Bills, or are we gonna get the Chiefs that like are a little careless, let people stay in it, and the Bills might take advantage of that? I honestly don't know. But like you said, it's hard to bet against them.
Yeah, I mean I had another buddy at work that he works remotely from Kansas City, but I've talked to him about sports and stuff here and there, and I was just chatting with him the other week about. Well, I guess like right before we like got into this weekend, I was asking who he thought, and I was like, okay, in your unbiased opinion, do you think the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl? Like, do you think they are the best team in the AFC? He was like, yeah, I legitimately do. Yeah. He's like, I don't see another team that is better than them. And he was saying that like even because I asked, I mentioned the Bills. I'm like, the Bills are looking pretty good though, and what else did I mention? The Titans, right? Isn't that the NFC?
They're the AFC.
AFC. I mean AFC. Yeah. Yes. They're AFC. Yeah. So that's what I thought. So yeah, I mentioned the Titans too, and I mean I was saying like those are like my top 3. Like I think like they're kind of tight, and he was just like and he brought up some good points of, just where like the Titans just didn't. I don't know. I wish I could remember all the points he made exactly. But basically just saying he thinks the Titans are kind of pretenders. He thinks the Bills are for real, but just don't have enough pieces to fight against the Chiefs. The Chiefs, it's hard to bet against them. It is.
It is, and that's kind of what I was going to ask you. Like, out of the AFC, the Bills and I'm saying Titans, man. I'm just putting them out there right now.
You think Titans come out of the AFC?
No. That's what. No. What I'm saying is, against Titans and Bengals, I think Titans are going to win. To be honest.
Oh, my bad.
So I'm already putting them ahead. Who's the biggest challenger out of the Bills and the Titans? I kind of think it's the Bills, and that's the thing. It's like I can't even definitively say, oh, I really think the Bills are going to win this week. Like, I just can't. And I think they have the best shot in the AFC against the Chiefs.
I do too. That's the thing. Again, I'm rooting for the Bills, but I think the Chiefs are going to win. But again, like you said, do we see the same Chiefs team that we saw this last week with Travis Kelce going for more than 100 yards and Patrick Mahomes
fun out there,
crazy? Man. Yeah, like they just had a crazy good game, and so like. Do we see that, or do the Bills put the pressure on them, and do they give them a run for their money? Like, we'll see. Because again, like you mentioned before, the Bills and the Patriots faced each other. What was it, once or twice before this game?
Yeah. And
the Patriots beat them before, because of their defense. But like the Bills exposed them. Like they learned from their mistakes and they exposed them this past weekend. So do the Bills learn from their past mistakes with the Chiefs and not expose them, but do they give them a run for their money?
I think if the Bills could muck it up, get gritty, get dirty with it, and not allow the Chiefs to just run all over the place, I think they have a good chance to beat them. But man, if the Chiefs just get on a run, score 21 in a quarter, it's hard. It's hard to come back from that, So
yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking for that game. Now, let's talk Titans-Bengals. I kind of already revealed what I'm thinking. I think it's going to be a fun game. I think Bengals might give them a little challenge in the first half, but especially if Derrick Henry's there. I don't even care if he's 60% Derrick Henry. If Derrick Henry's there, bro, give me the Titans.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I guess, again, I'm rooting for the Bengals in this one just because I like a good underdog. But I think the Titans are going to win. And, yeah, I think a big part of that is their offense is just better. They just got more pieces to their offense. And, yeah, like you said, if Derrick Henry is back, I mean, he's going to be tough. And then on top of that, I mean, Titans defense has been pretty decent this year. They haven't really been slackers or anything. And I think that's where the Bengals are going to struggle, is the defense. Yeah.
If you get any pressure on Burrow, not saying Burrow cracks under pressure or whatever. It's just, I think if you get any pressure on Burrow, his mobility kind of comes into question a little bit and stuff like that. So I think any pressure at all, it's going to be the Titans game.
I would agree. 49ers Packers. Who you got?
I mean, I got to ride with my boy Aaron. Come on.
Yeah, same. I'm rooting for the Packers, and I think they're going to win this game. Like we mentioned before, 49ers, they didn't look incredible this last game. Yeah, they won, and they did have a pretty more dominant first half against the Cowboys, but I just think the Packers are going to take them to the house.
They had some interesting injuries, and hopefully nothing, it's not more serious. But I know Bosa was out for a quarter or something, and he came back and he played most of the game. But then Fred Warner, he went down with a knee injury. He came back and played the final drive or whatever, but that looked bad. It was a no contact thing when he went down. So those are two big pieces on the defense. Hopefully they're playing, but that's something to watch this week, I think. But no, I think the Packers are just the most complete team in the playoffs. I really do. And, I just don't really see the 49ers beating them, especially in Lambeau. Come on.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I know. When you've got that home field advantage, too, I mean, that really helps, too.
Packers are the only team this year maybe I'm going to jinx them right here. Only team this year to not lose a home game so far.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Did not know that. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit Buccaneers and to be determined. Do you think either of these teams have? Honestly, do you think they have a chance against the Bucs?
I think either of them have a chance to get the Bucs. I mean, these teams have been incredible this season, right? They've kind of been the talk of the town, if you will, all season, really.
Yeah.
So I think I don't know. Dang, I mean, that's the thing is both of their defenses are really good. I was about to say, if anyone has a chance of shutting down the Bucs, I feel like it's the Cardinals. But man, I mean, how are you going to look at the Rams and not say they have an incredible defense too with Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald? I mean, they do. They both teams have incredible defense.
Isn't like Eric Weddle? Didn't he? They like activate him because they were like down safeties.
Yeah,
like former Ram player Eric Weddle. I don't know. I thought that was an interesting little get him out of retirement. I don't even think he played this season. It was weird.
I don't know,
but
you
think the Cardinals have the best chance, or what were you saying?
I don't know. I think if we're talking just purely best shot at beating the Bucs, I think the Rams have the better shot. I think they have, because the Rams have a slightly more stacked offense, and I think the defense is extremely comparable to the Cardinals defense. So, yeah, man, I don't know, because again, it's. I mean, you look at the Rams, and it's just hard not to be a little bit in awe of Cooper Kupp and Matt Stafford and the way they connect with each other. And then you also look at the redemption story for Odell as he just catches a pass as I'm watching him catch a great pass from Stafford. But I mean, kind of I say redemption story, but it's more of like the validation that he wasn't lying about the shenanigans going on in Cleveland, and that like obviously there was something off there, because he is still a great receiver, and it was not him coming back from injury or whatever. It was definitely a problem with his QB or whatever it may be. But I don't know. I think the Rams have the better shot at the Bucs, though.
I agree, and here's why. I think to beat the Bucs, you have to get pressure on Tom Brady, and you have to have an offense that can keep up or even outgun him. And I think the Rams have the better chance to get pressure on him. I think the chances of the Cardinals and the Rams putting up points is kind of the same, honestly. But I think the Rams have a slight edge on getting pressure on Tom Brady. I mean, like you mentioned, Aaron Donald. So I think the Rams have a better chance. But honestly, like we were talking about the matchup in general, they're kind of they're pretty similar teams, to be honest. So
yeah.
So we'll see.
Which, I mean, is why they've been, that's exactly like why they've been battling all year, is because they're pretty similar teams. So
yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Well, that's kind of a look forward into next week, and a look back into what happened this weekend. A little shorter episode this week, but as always, thank you so much for listening, everybody. Please go follow our socials. They're at 2 Tight Ends on everything. Go follow our personal socials. They'll be in the description there. And hey, why don't you tell a friend, tell a family member, show them if you think they like this the show. Share it with them. And Connor, what did we learn this week?
Well, Neal, if there's anything we've learned this week, it's that it doesn't matter if it's within the last 25 years or before that. Cowboys fans' tears just taste delicious no matter when it comes.
Yep, I've been slurping it up all weekend, baby. All right, guys. Until next week.
See ya.